Okay, so in this video, we're going to be looking at segmented bar charts. And I'm actually going to start over here for a sec because I just want to go through a brief overview and we'll go into a bit more detail on how we can analyze one of these. So basically, a segmented bar chart is a single bar as a starting point used to represent all the data in the set. So basically, what we're saying is from here to here, all your data is represented. Okay. And each segmental division represents a particular category or discrete numerical data value. So it's not going to be continuous data. Okay, so it's going to be discrete numerical if it's going to be that. So, we're looking at, say, for example, here, red, in this case, color preferences. Red was counted 5, black 12, 8, blue 20. So that gives a total of 25. Okay, and when you get the percentages, you get 20%, 48%, and 32, because remember that's going to be 5 divided by 25 equals 20%, so multiplied by 100 equals 20%, etc., etc. And what you're drawing on this segmented bar chart is a visual representation of that. That's nearly 50% of your data, 32% and 5%. So you can sort of visually see that black's pretty dominant there. Okay, in the two-way frequency table, so we've talked about those before. We can also present our data in a segmented bar chart form. So say, more school holidays is an example of between 67 primary school and 47 secondary school. So we're not looking at the outright numbers here. We're looking at the percentages of who said what. So we can see that, we can look at the numbers and go, okay, primary, it should say the same and more. So you can see primary, it says more or the same, whereas secondary, it's pretty much just more. But if you look at the visual representation of that, you can see that quite clearly here that is going to be a fairly dominant approach. I'm not sure they actually made the right numbers there. I think that should be a bit further down, but you can even see that visually that more secondary school students would like more holidays. Okay, and that's that visual. You can see only a very small amount, say fewer. Okay. Let's look at back up to here for a moment then. So now we're sort of trying to identify relationships. We could just source some as an example. Here's another example where we're saying between looking at a segment shows a graphic representation information in table 4.5. So this information here, and what you can see is that representation there. So you can see that predominantly females, 71% are for whatever it was about, and the rest of males are against, whereas you can see them, the rest of those females are against, whereas you can see the males, it's a bit more half and half, just visually looking at it without worrying about the fine details. So it's giving you a nice visual representation of what you're seeing, okay? And again, here's the data. Sometimes if you've got a lot of data like that, that can start to look quite full on. And following segment bar chart is a graph of information here. So it says smoking status, saying whether there's smoked, passed, or never smoked. You can say is of people. So they've interviewed probably adults, and they've said whether you've got a year 9 or less, 10 or 11, 12 or university. And you can see that if they've got a university education, they're more likely to have never smoked compared to somebody who has year 9 or less. And we could say there's a smaller number of smokers correspondingly. Looking at this part here, who have a past smoker, you could say it's fairly reasonably much the same. It's looking at numbers up top, you can sort of see it's not within sort of error. I'd say that's where you're going. So here's a report I can actually produce from that. From that table, we said that the percentage of smokers clearly decreases with education level from 33.9% for Year 9 or below to 18.4% for university. This indicates that smoking is related to probably to who's going to take in, who's going to smoke is related to the level of education. Okay, but but that's sort of just looking at that, or that was also looking at this information here. But you could sort of just say visually, that's what that's telling you. Okay, that's segmented bar charts. Thank you.